We've got a lot of different things done to the bus right now. I've been falling behind on my videos because we've been working pretty heavily on it. Every day we're off, but finally about to do an update. So right now it is completely sanded down and most external stuff done and have it prepped for paint. As you can tell, we have a roof coating on it now. There is actually 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of an insulative coating to protect the roof. I have the solar racks done, painted and mounted. Both max air fans are installed on the roof. The air conditioner is installed on the roof. We have 9 windows blanked off. I have the propane tank mounted. The back body panel here is cut off for where I'm going to make a storage bin. And as you can see, one of the best things and one of the most fun things we've done so far is the rooftop deck is done. And it's finally, that's probably the first fun thing we have done that we can enjoy now in the bus, even though the bus isn't ready for travel, but we don't care. We can still get up there and use it. The first night it was done, we spent 3 hours up there just enjoying ourselves, having some drinks, and it was a ton of fun. But as you can see, more windows blocked off back here. I know the sealant looks ugly, but when you're trying to make this thing waterproof, you kind of have to put aesthetics on the background or on the back burner compared to just making it watertight. Okay, as you can see, not too much different on this side other than we blanked off 3 more windows here. And this is the access door I cut out for getting to the propane tank, and that black hose there is actually for hooking up our little Weber grill, so it's kind of nice. We don't have to have separate grill or tanks going for the grill. And actually, this propane tank mounted underneath the bus really well. You have to get down low to even notice that the tank is there, so I'm really happy with how that turned out. And something that turned out pretty good is we installed a 32-inch house door. So that's going to be a lot better insulation for the weather. It's going to be more secure, and it just looks pretty cool, and we're anxious to get it painted. But I know what a lot of people might be thinking is now the hinges are external and someone could knock out the pins and get in. Well, we did order some stainless steel, 304 stainless steel door hinges that also have non-removable pins. The door has to be open to remove the pins, but when it's closed, it's secure. So we kind of thought of that, and when we paint the door, that's when we'll put the new hinges on. But right now, the bus is finally at a point where it's starting to look less like a school bus and more like a Skoolie project. And my wife has literally about at least 60 hours into sanding this thing down. With a palm sander, hand sanding it, it's crazy how much work she's put into sanding this thing. In the next few weeks, when I'm on vacation, we're going to paint it. It's going to be a challenge because we have to paint it outside, which isn't ideal, but there's really nowhere we can bring this thing to paint it, so it is what it is, and that's all there is to it. But as you can see, most of the stuff like the stop sign, the corner upper lights and stuff are all removed. Poles are being body filled, and that's pretty much it for the outside. And I'll head inside and show you what it looks like in there. For now, these are the doorknobs. And actually, I should say this door was a perfect fit for the framework on this bus. The frame for the door at its widest point was 33.5 inches, and the opening in the bus at its narrowest point was 34, so that gave me exactly 1/2 inch to deal with putting in shims and using metal screws to put the frame in secure to the rest of the bus, and it is very secure. This door isn't going anywhere, so we're really happy we did it. And not too much has changed from the inside other than we just have the water heater and the furnace on the floor, just kind of getting an idea where things are going to go. This is what the blanked off windows look like from the inside. We just had sheet metal cut that was the exact size as the windows. We used that butyl rope cord around the opening, and then I ripped down and cut some of these boards here. And what we did is use these black strips to kind of push against the wood and really press that sheet metal against the butyl rope cord, seal it up. And before we removed them again, I put these sheet metal screws into the post to really hold it into place. And for a little bit, we were kind of, one of the last rains we had, we did have some water in here before we did the roof coating, and we were kind of frustrated. But and also all the windows were kind of getting water down in here, and we didn't know why. But on the roof, I went and put sealant over every single rivet on the roof, and then we have, like I said, 7 layers of coating up top, 2 primer, 3 for the insulative coating, and then 2 coats of clear. And then we figured out that the windows were leaking on the outside down in that corner where the bottom sill meets the side sill. There's just a slight groove, and that was allowing each window to weep a little bit of water in. And what we did is we used the Rust-Oleum equivalent of the Flex Seal stuff, and my wife brushed a few coats of that in there. And one of the last rains we had, or the very last rain we had, I came out here, there was no puddles of water, the windows were dry, so I'm pretty sure we got this thing well sealed up. And so here's the first max air fan that was in place of the emergency exit on the roof there. Going down here, I have the AC installed. Not too permanent yet, but that's more or less how it's going to be going in there, but no leaks from that, so that was a good thing to have installed. And the other max air fan where the rear emergency exit was. And like I said, we blanked off those two windows. We're going to be walling up that back area there. And that's 2 98-gallon freshwater tanks, so we're going to have plenty of fresh water, and that's basically that is where these tanks are going to be sitting. And each one's going to have its own city inlet, or gravity fill inlet, and the pump's going to be there, and it's going to be all PEX A tubing. When we get in here and start walling this thing, the plumbing's probably going to be the first thing I work on, and then the electrical. But yeah, so it's been a while since I did an update video, but we've definitely been working on it. We got a lot of things done. It's definitely neat to see the bus at a point where we're seeing a real transformation. It's not just a school bus anymore, and we're just happy with how it's turning out. And it's turning into be a really fun project, and now having the deck on the roof, we're really excited. And I should point out that all of my stuff, anything on the roof, is mounted with the right through the ribs of the roof here. That's going to be the strongest point. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, mount it by the sheet metal, but you'd have to put a metal backing plate on there anyway to kind of spread out the load and really secure it. So it wasn't much more effort just to make sure everything was bolted through these ribs, in which case they're not going back through there, or they're not going anywhere. See, these are the brackets. There's 8 brackets holding the deck on, each one bolted right to the rib, and then 4 transverse cedar tone treated boards, 2x4s running transverse to the bus, and then just the decking on top of there. The deck is super solid, especially with just the 2 of us on there. We're not expecting to have a lot of people up there, probably 4 tops, so it's definitely secure. And once again, my solar racks are all bolted down through the ribs. Plenty of strength going there with grade 5 hardware. My panels aren't going anywhere. As you can see, Gimli's already enjoying the bus. He knows when we're working around it, or if we're up on the roof, he knows we're up there, and he's just been laying around underneath it, so we're kind of glad he's getting used to it and enjoying the shade. But it's been a fun project. There's been times where we wonder what we're doing, but honestly the plan still feels right. We're excited. We can't wait to get this thing done and head out on the road. So I'll do better at getting these videos out, but I hope you want to keep following along, and I'll try to keep you up to date. Alright, thanks for watching.